about CGI as well, John, because there has been photos suggesting that Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI as well. This is coming in from Screen Rant once again via Daily Mail, I think. So, clicking it,
everyone's favourite rag.
Yeah, clicking it if you will. But new set photos from Indiana Jones 5 were publicised.
I actually did click on set photos of also Toby Jones as well, but I forgot to bring them up because, as you know, I had to restart the PC, so that's unfortunate.
That's okay.
But I'll bring them up.
That's fine.
We'll get them.
Yeah, but they were published online by the Daily Mail that revealed Harrison Ford will be de-aged with CGI for portions of the movie.
I think it's the same photographs anyway, man.
Portions of the movie, John. Portions of the movie. We're not getting a de-aged Harrison Ford for the entirety of the movie, but Ford is shown wearing Indiana Jones' signature costume, but the star also has black dots on his face. These dots are traditionally used as reference points for visual effects artists, so actors can be de-aged in post-production.
Caesar,
it's going to be interesting, John. They're saying portions of the movie, so clearly we're getting flashbacks.
Stephen, I wonder if this will work.
It's going to be very interesting, I think. How far back are we going? How far back are we going, John?
That's worked. I don't know, Stephen. Look, I'll try and bring this up and make this work in a coherent manner. Have us both on the screen whilst we sort of critique these images. If I can see where the mouse cursor is, it's not really working, Stephen, is it? It looks very big. If you bear with me here, and you can see all my actual, what do you call them, bookmarks as well, so that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm having that fucking mare here, man. I just cannot work it. No, it's not working. We'll go back to the split screen. I can't see what I'm doing.
Just take our words for it, guys. There is a link on the website. And
Stephen, we'll go to you whilst we speak about it, and we'll have a look. Okay. You can see it there.
I'll look this way, John, because it looks better. It looks like I'm looking at it.
Stephen, I unflipped it because, as you know, I had to use your camera because my camera's cable was goosed.
Yeah.
So, or the power, the dummy battery was goosed, so I had to use your camera and flipped it. I don't look good on that side. You look good on both sides, but I've got a bent nose, as you know, Stephen, and it just looked strange. I looked like a sort of Muppets extra, so it wasn't a good look. I had to unflip it. But Stephen, look, man, you can see it there. He's sort of gallivanting around in the grass. He's looking fantastic for his age, I have to say. But as you can see, there is a shot. I don't know what shot it is. Maybe this one here.
I see Toby Jones is the one above.
Yeah, Toby Jones, there he is. Very much hairless. This guy doesn't care about his looks. No. He has a similar kind of hairdo to me, but he continues to hang on to it and flick it up in a strange manner. Almost like your old driving instructor, Stephen. Bill. We'll not speak about Bill because he went down a very dangerous route. Indeed, I think you get jailed. But Stephen, you can see there's little dots. I'm sure that it's this image. There is little black dots sprinkled around his face, very much like Andy Serkis's sort of mocap performance in obviously the Planet of the Apes trilogy and what he did in a numerous amount of movies. This guy's the mocap king.
Mark Hamill as well.
Mark Hamill as well, yeah.
Quite a few cameos in The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker as well.
Yeah. Well, also they kind of changed his hair colour and made him a little bit younger, didn't they?
Yeah, they were throwing him a bone. They knew they'd pissed him off big time.
Stephen, in terms of actual timelines, though, I'm not entirely sure where this could fit in. I did cover. I'll go to me briefly, Stephen. I'll not hang on me too long because it's not a good look.
Yeah.
I did cover it briefly, Stephen, last week, that there was once again leaks, and that's another thing I'm concerned about, the actual amount of leaks from the set of this movie. It's almost too leaky. It's like the complete yin to the yang of J.J. Abrams' sort of mystery box. Every single fucking scene's getting leaked to the world. But Stephen, there was a locomotion train, a steam train, sort of doing the rounds around, I think, Yorkshire. So that would suggest that it is going back to steam train era.
John, what I'm going to say, you made a good point then in terms
1950s,
of
40s,
the lack of secrecy regarding this film. The amount of shots we're getting over the last 2 weeks has been ridiculous. we never got anything for any Star Wars films. This franchise itself, John, I don't know if they have got the confidence for this fifth instalment that they think leak stuff out. Let's get people's, the sort of, excitement going.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. The actual train shots, there was multiple locations and it was cutting to multiple locations along the path of this train. Now, I don't know if the guy's in with the actual crew, he's get sort of prior information and set the cameras up, but it was so slick. And it was almost like the actual crew were putting this out to show you the Nazi insignia on the train. It's a flashback, so it's going to go back to at least the 1940s, 30s.
Ruth makes a good point here. She says since he will be de-aged for part of the film, maybe they may want to develop some plot point with the Nazis in the past and continue into the present times. Makes perfect sense.
That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. You're on the money there, Ruth. There was talk, and look, I hope it's true, there was a leaked sort of script. I'm sure it's not all right, but I'm hoping that there is elements getting picked out for the actual movie. That it was going to be Operation Paperclip, the space race, not rage as I said earlier. In America, they cherry-picked the best Nazi scientists from Nazi Germany, brought them over, sort of admonished them of their sins, and they worked in getting them to the moon before the Soviet Union. And that's what I think the backdrop of this movie is rumoured to be set against, if you like. I don't know if that even makes sense, set against. But he's going to be going after Nazis within the United States sort of government, the umbrella Nazi, sort of NASA, if you like, because NASA's famously a Nazi organisation. I can't recall the actual guy who came over that led them to the moon. But that was apparently going to be the backdrop. So it would make sense if they go flashback and it establishes a connection, a relationship with some arse-white Nazi figure, and then it fast forwards, it may be Mads Mikkelsen, and he bumps into him in the States, and that's the sort of premise he's doing. I'm not going to write the whole fucking movie. I don't know how it's going to work out. It'll just disappoint me if it doesn't work out exactly as I anticipate it. But I think she might be right, Ruth. It might be that they go back, establish a connection with Mads Mikkelsen, because he is going to be the villain, and then it goes forward to the 60s, and he's there, and he has to stop him or something. I don't know, man. I'm very excited about it, Stephen.
Yeah.
Very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing a young Harrison Ford again, because I put it on the actual thumbnail. The guy was fucking unreal in his pomp, man. Just unbelievable shape, amazing hair, tall as hell, just an absolute bona fide star. So I cannot wait to see this guy, much like Kurt Russell, much like Robert Downey Jr. in his young form again, because we know they can do it, and it's Disney. They know that they can do it right.
Yeah,
so it's going to be very, very
if
cool.
It's not for the entirety of the movie as well, then they can do that. They can do it for certain scenes, I think, and it will work. I didn't want to see them doing it for the whole film. I want to see Harrison Ford the way he is. The guy keeps himself in shape, looks after himself. It'd be a shame to hide that, with all the CGI.
I don't think we're there yet, there, Stephen.
I don't think so. Not for an entire movie, John. We talked about the Luke Skywalker thing in The Mandalorian. That was great for that little sort of 5 minutes at the end of season 2. And then we're talking about a whole series of doing a de-aged.
Stan has to come in.
It has to be, John. I don't want to see a de-aged Mark Hamill as much as I want to see Mark Hamill play Luke Skywalker forever.
It just negates from the performance, Stephen, as well, because you're drawn to the actual visuals, and it takes away from the performance. Because Stephen, look, I enjoyed the cameo, or the visual cameo of his face, but it wasn't lifeless.
No,
it wasn't life.
There
was no life. It was lifeless.
It was a little shaky.
Yeah, I mean,
when he was speaking.
Funnily enough, the actual Corridor crew, again, I keep speaking about these guys today. They actually went in, took someone from their team who had the similar jawline and dimple in the chin. Not dimple, but what do you call that? Sort of little.
Yeah.
He's getting a little thing in his chin. They took him and deep faked him, and it was unreal. Yeah, a little sort of, I don't know what you call that, but he's got it anyway. And they did a great job, Stephen, of actually deep faking it, and it looked much more realistic because the eyes were moving and there was life. So you can't do it for a full movie. So I'm hoping that we'll be consigned to a little flashback, and it will be something that is pertinent to the actual present day in the movie. And it's done well, because I want to see a youthful Harrison, but like you, I want to see him in his older years as well, wiser.
I remember when we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that Kurt Russell scene blew us away. It was the first 5 minutes of the movie.
It was like Kurt Russell from Escape from LA.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
So they can do it right, and they know not to overuse it. They know it's a nice little novelty thing, but it's not something that can last. You're not there yet. It can't last the whole movie. Stephen, Ruth right as well. There was Nazi trucks leaked. Images of it. I think it was an actual train, a steam train, locomotion train. It was a sort of eagle thing on the side. So it's definitely going back to Nazi Germany again. There's this sort of infatuation with it.
Apparently Mikkelsen said that the script of Indiana Jones was everything he wished it would be, which is a little cryptic, but it's still a very positive sign. As for that type of actor, Ruth, you're absolutely right. Someone like him does not just jump into any old movie, and even if any old franchise. Now, a lot of actors would jump into Indiana Jones franchise just for the sake of exposure. He's not that type of guy. He doesn't need exposure. No. This guy picks his roles very carefully, and you're absolutely right. If he's read that script and he likes what he's seen and it's everything he wished for, then we know it's going to be a good script.
Stephen, look, man, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in there as well. She's much the same. She's a great producer, writer, won umpteen Golden Globes, awards in general, respected by everybody. So she's come in. There must be a script there, and Mangold's there, so there must be a good script there. Yeah. The fact James Mangold's directing this is enough for me. I think the guy's absolute box office gold. He's proven. You just look back at his list of movies, it's undeniable how good the guy is. I think he's perfect for continuing the sort of Steven Spielberg, taking the mantle on from him. Steve, I think this movie's going to be brilliant, man.
John,
It'll be much better than the other one.
Logan, just when we're talking about him, I felt Azurin when we watched that had a Logan feel to it.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that on Friday night to you. It just came into my head there when you were talking about James Mangold, but anyway,
it was great. Stephen, it was great. I loved that movie, man. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
It was the sort of restraint in him as well. He had a bad, obviously, past, very much like Logan, and wanted to keep a lid on things, and then...
And he had a sort of, what would you call it? A dependent.
Yeah.
A vulnerable dependent.
Yeah.
In this case, it was his son. He could handle himself, but then obviously in Logan, it was Patrick Stewart and his dementia riddled Charles Xavier. Stephen Merchant as well, he's sort of albino.
The son,
Rufus says, apparently Mickelson says, I think you've read that, haven't you?
Yeah,
I'm tripping at my napper.
That's okay, John.
I'm very tired, man. I've been up since 10 o'clock. That's very early for me. When you go to your bed at 4:30 in the morning, you get up at 10.
Curses Scotland.